Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Mancier. I wanted to come and say hello. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I wanted to discuss a few things about spirituality, ascension, and some essentials, some basics. I pull out a few cards and sing a song. What I wanted to say essentially is that we're moving from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. And the age of Pisces is the age of belief. The age of Aquarius is the age of knowledge. So we have to move from beliefs into knowledge. So that means we have to be able to verify things. And because of the I Am presence that we have within us, we are fully able, as we liberate some space within our mental programming, that life can reveal itself. Because basically our life is made of our beliefs and desire. It is a tale told by an idiot, like Hamlet said, and so it is a story that we repeat, we tell ourselves. But we have to change the story to move into more love, unity, acceptance of the miracle and the magic, so that as we change the story within our mind, the whole reality will shift. And so it is important to work on that, to understand that it is a great shift of consciousness to allow ourselves to move from state to state. I wanted to return to the four essential laws. Those laws are eternal principles that they may be understandable quite easily from an intellectual standpoint, but after that we need to find ways to apply them in our life. As we do that, we are able to grow, to evolve, to become more. And so this is really what's happening for me each and every day. I'm changing, I'm becoming someone else, I'm moving into a higher level of state of being, and so the more we are able to die of one state, the easier it is for us to ascend to a new level. And so do that every day. Allow yourself to die from states and to be reborn each and every day. Those four eternal laws. The first law is the law of inclusion. This law tells you that if you exist, is you are beloved eternally from the Creator, from the Source, from God, and so and you are all eternally included within the life of God. You could never exist outside of that, and it is our mind that has created this illusion of separation. But oneness with God is not something one and the other. It is one. There is no separation. It is only that is the nature of the illusion that we need to overcome, because we have to let go of the fight, accept the duality. The duality was created by necessity of evolution, for God was one, but then as one he knows all things, he is all things, and there is nothing else but God. As God creates another one, then there is a possibility for expansion. Yet all the secondary beings that God has created, an infinity of beings that God has created, it's way beyond my ability to comprehend or even what I know to explain. But this duality, everyone was programmed either to serve and in a descending position, such as most of the spirit beings that rules the universe. But as mortal beings, we were created with this potential to return to the source, to go on the journey, to separate ourselves from the one, but to return to the source eventually. And this philosophy has not really, this understanding of the law of inclusion is not really been understood except or explained by philosophers, except by Jesus or Buddha that already got that. But we have to understand this first principle of existence. We exist, we have no choice but to exist because we were created. The second law or principle is that all is one and one is all. For this is Parmenid, the great philosopher, that says everything is one. The one can never change. Life can never be different than what it is. It is one, and so in many sense, he didn't necessarily understood that all of the one was included within each and every one of us. For we are the potential of self-realization of the God self is included within every living being. We have God within us with the potential to become as God is, with developing our love, our wisdom, and our power being only power over ourselves, to blend in the love and power. For power without love and wisdom brings all kinds of dysfunction and suffering. So this second law is that all is one and one is all. This is an eternal principle. It will never change. The third eternal principle is the law of karma, the law of attraction, the law of cause and effect. Spinoza was the philosopher of cause and effect, and so it is always looking for the cause. But in many sense, all that we do, everything is circular. Everything that we send will come back to us. Everything that we plant will grow. So it is important to be aware of the energies that we put out to the universe, because it will return to us until we align with that. With love being the essential of what we produce. And this law is the law that is the law of karma. It is well known in Asia. There is this little saying that from Eastern Sword that says injurious words should never be used even against an enemy, because like the sound the sound will echo from the rock, it will return to you as the sound echoes from the rocks. So it is very important to let go of that, of all that is, to be as unified and within our own program, to understand that as magnetic being magnetic being in a magnetic universe, we have to produce also we have to pull out certain energy in order to get the result. If we don't put out energy, there is no reflection. So it is all as we become more empowered, we are able to create a reality from our mind, from our thought, from our heart, and then the reality, the buffer zone between the emission of the intention and the realization of the material physical reality will become thinner and thinner until we reach the total empowerment, at which point we will be able to manifest with just thoughts. And the fourth law is the law that was described by Heraclitus in the Greek philosopher I really enjoy. He says that everything is in perpetual motion, except God, that does not change. Well, that is the law. But Heraclitus knew that everything was just like a river, a flow, that life was just could never be twice the same, and nothing was resting. Everything is kept in frequency, from the atom to the galaxy. There is everything that is material. Float. So I hope you can integrate those beliefs and integrate those knowledge and become, so that beliefs can become knowledge from once, because it's far more enjoyable to act from certainties than to act from potential, from probability, from possibility, from speculation. So it is important to discover your own truth, to find how your soul and spirit already knows what you're ready for, what you need, what you want, but continue to work with those energies and to become as peaceful as possible within your social dialogue with yourself, and be as joyful, to use humor to discharge over every situation. It's always useful. I'm going to pull out a few cards just to see what the guidance for today. The highest wisdom for us today is hope. It's the card of hope. Hope is the great Elohim. It is hope. Hope, is always present. It's always present. If there is no hope, there is no future, there is no possibility. So hope is always there. There is always hope and faith and charity. Hope, faith, and charity is charity in relationship to yourself, in relationship to the world. For those are essential component of your psyche that we need to always have active. This sense of hope, that there is always hope for we are creators, and no matter what life may bring us, there is always hope that we can move outside of it, or to integrate more of it, or so just we have to work with the energies that we are given. What we need to understand is intuition. For our intuition is to become blended with our analytical mind and our intuitive mind. We have two brains, but we work on a half brain principle. So it's like, why do we work with only one brain? It's like, let's blend in, let's work with the whole process. A lot of philosophers were trying to give more power to the reasoning, and those like Kant or Descartes, and some others were like much more into the intuitive principle, like Hulme or Leibniz. So it is very important to have a balanced energy between the masculine and the feminine. The masculine being the rational, the intuitive, the creative intuitive being the feminine. And as we activate all those brains, we'll activate the third brain, the cerebellum, on the base on the top of the spine, and that will open up to will open ourselves up to completely new function in sensory function and so on. What we need to do is energy. It's a number one card. It is understanding we are one. The energy is one. But the energies there is all kinds of the flow and currents of energies have been made so it's so mysterious. Well, everything is energy. Everything, matter does not really exist. It is just manifested energy, but it's manifested in a very intelligent way, as its physical body. It's just a magnificent creation. The human body is it's a temple of creation. It is something that we need to understand ourselves, to know ourselves, and once we know ourselves, to be true in relationship to ourselves. Hamlet also said to thine own self be true, but before you can be true to your own self, first is to be true to whatever you are right now, but it's also to discover more of who the true inner self is, and to recognize yourself as an eternal and infinite being, for that is your true essence and reality and source and destiny. And the general message for us is purification. For we need to purify our mind, we need to purify our heart, we need to purify our emotional body, we need to purify our physical body. For all those bodies can be aligned only when there is no interference or impurity. So we need to move from those heavy things to the light thing, and this is really what's going on, what is happening. So we have to use discernment and to always seek to follow that yellow brick road at the center, and that lead us to the great temple of magic, where we'll discover who we are, who's the magician behind the veil. Now, I hope this message was interesting for you. This painting is called Aquatic Visitor, after the passage of the cat. For I had a cat that put her feet here, so I kept the trace of the cat. But after that, there is all kinds of mermaid and this like elf character with like with a fishtail. And at some point, he was on the floor on a small easel, and my father fell. He didn't hurt himself too bad, but he was and he broke the canvas here. But everything that broke the paint and the canvas, it got really well integrated within the painting. So I don't think I'm going to restore it. I think I'm going to keep it as it is. I don't know if you can see really what went on here, but it's I think it's a very powerful painting. So there's all kinds of things within it. I'm going to finish with a song that's a tribute to the rock and roll era. It's a difficult song to sing a cappella. It's a beautiful poem, though. So where no man has gone before. I'm gonna try to sing it. It goes like this. There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came here for. Ooh, ooh, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sing. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven. There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for living. In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voice of those who stand looking. And it whispered that soon, if we all call the tune, then the piper will lead us to reason, and a new day will dawn for those who stand long, and the forest will echo with laughter. If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just a sprinkling for the May Queen. Yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. Your head is humming and it won't go, in case you don't know. The piper's calling you to join him. Dear lady, can you hear the wind blow? And did you know your stairway lies on the whispering wind? And as we wind on down the road, our shadows taller than our soul, there walks a lady we all know, who shines white light and wants to show how everything still turns to gold. And if you listen very hard, the tune will come to you at last, where all is one and one is all, to be a rock and not to roll. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to come and say hello. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.